The suspension part with the name ground off. There is a front suspension part on your Audi where the company that actually manufactures it grinds their own name off the casting before it ships in a box wearing the 4 rings. Same part, same factory, often 2 or 3 times the price. My name is Marcus, and I have spent 22 years working on these cars, most of them running my own independent Audi shop. I have stood at enough dealer parts counters and seen enough dealer invoices land on my bench afterward to know exactly which parts you are quietly overpaying for. Today, I am giving you 15 specific parts you should almost never buy from the Audi dealership, who really makes each one, and where to get the OE supplier part for close to half the price. A few of these are $5 items. One of them has saved my customers over $1,000 in a single repair. If this kind of honest technical content is what you are looking for, hit subscribe right now. Let me start where the markup is easiest to prove: the tune-up parts that are the same part in a different box. The first 2 parts on this list are the ones the dealer counts on you not researching, because they sound technical enough that most owners assume the dealer version is somehow special. The first is your spark plugs. The factory plug in nearly every modern Audi is made by NGK or by Bosch, depending on the engine. When you buy a genuine Audi plug, you are buying that original equipment NGK or Bosch plug with a different part number printed on the box. I had a customer with a 2013 A4B8, the 2.0 TFSI, around 95,000 miles, come in after the dealer quoted him a number for a tune-up that made his eyes water. The plugs in that quote were the standard NGK Platinum plugs. The same NGK plug, under its own part number, runs a fraction of the dealer price online. The second part is your ignition coils. Whatever the factory coil is for your specific engine, it is made by an outside supplier and sold under its own part number for a fraction of what the dealer charges to hand you the same piece in an Audi sleeve. There is one thing you have to get right here. On the earlier 2.0 turbo motors, the factory coil is the well-known push-in red coil, the one people call the R8 coil. On the later EA888 Gen 3 engines, the ones in the cars from around 2013 onward, the factory coil is a completely different bolt-down design, and the red push-in coil simply will not fit. So match the coil to your exact engine, buy the correct genuine part, and you still save real money over the counter price. On that A4, the dealer wanted a number in the high hundreds for plugs and coils together. The same genuine NGK plugs and the correct factory coils for that engine, bought online, came to a small fraction of that, and the job took him a single afternoon in his own driveway with hand tools. Order both at the same time from a supplier like FCP Euro or ECS Tuning, do the job yourself in 20 minutes aside, and you keep the difference. The warning here is simple. Buy the right heat range plug for your specific engine, and on a turbo car, make sure it is gapped correctly. The part is cheap, the fitment still matters. The 3 filters you should never pay dealer price for. Parts 3, 4, and 5 are your 3 filters, and this is where the dealer markup is almost comical once you see it. Your engine air filter, your cabin pollen filter, and your oil filter are most commonly supplied by companies such as MAN, Molly, and Hengst. Depending on the model year and the plant, any one of those 3 is likely the original equipment filter in your car. When you buy a genuine Audi filter, you are buying a MAN, a Molly, or a Hengst with the 4 rings on the box. I have watched the engine air filter for a current A4 sit on the genuine shelf for over $30, while the Hengst filter from the actual factory supplier sits there for around $14. Same pleats, same media, same fit. I had an owner bring me a folder of dealer receipts once, 3 years of service, and every single oil change line had a genuine filter on it at a premium. Over those 3 years, just on filters, he had paid more than triple what the Hengst and Molly parts would have cost him for filters made by those very companies. The oil filter on most of these engines is a cartridge that drops into a housing, and the genuine cartridge is again a MON or a MALA. The cabin filter takes 5 minutes behind the glove box, and the dealer treats it like surgery. Here is the only caution that matters. Buy the correct filter for your exact engine and chassis, because Audi revised these parts over the years, and do not be tempted by the no-name $2 versions on the auction sites. Stay with MON, MALA, or Hengst, and you are running the factory part for a fraction of the counter price. Brakes, where the dealer logo costs the most. Parts 6, 7, and 8 live in your brake system. Many Audi brake pads are supplied by companies such as Textar, ATE, Pagid, TRW, and Brembo. Those are the original equipment pad makers. The genuine Audi pad is commonly a Textar or a Pagid with the logo on the box and a premium attached to it. Your brake rotors come from ATE, from SHW, and from Brembo on the bigger cars. I had a 2015 Q5, around 60,000 miles, come in after a dealer brake quote that was roughly double what the same job cost with the OE supplier ATE rotors and Textar pads sourced online and installed in my bay. The parts were the same parts the dealer would have fitted. The difference was entirely the counter markup and the dealer labor rate. Part 8 is your brake fluid, and this one people get wrong in both directions. Your Audi calls for fluid meeting the VW 50114 standard, which is a low-viscosity DOT4 fluid matched to the ABS and ESP system. The genuine fluid in the Audi can is simply a fluid built to that standard. Buy ATE SL.6 or Pentacin DOT4LV, both of which meet that exact VW standard, and you skip the logo tax without ever dropping below spec. If you want a deeper reference on which fluids and intervals actually protect these systems long-term, that is exactly the kind of detail I put into my guide, the 500,000-mile Audi Blueprint. The warning on brakes is the one I never soften. Match the pad and rotor to your specific caliper and chassis, and never drop below the VW brake fluid standard to save a few dollars. This is the one system where the wrong cheap part is genuinely dangerous. The wear items hiding in plain sight. Parts 9, 10, and 11 are the everyday wear items the dealer slips onto the invoice while you are looking at the bigger numbers. Part 9 is your battery. The factory battery in your Audi is a Varta, built by Clarios, the same company that supplies the battery on the assembly line. The Audi-branded battery is a Varta with a marked-up sticker. You can buy the correct Varta or an equivalent quality battery for well under what the dealer charges. There is one real catch here, and it is the reason the dealer wants the job. On most modern Audis equipped with battery management systems and start-stop technology, the new battery should be registered or coded to the vehicle, what we call the BEM registration, or the charging system can slowly cook it. So either buy the battery and have a shop with the software code it, or do it yourself if you own a tool like OBD11. I had a 2017 A6 with the start-stop system, around 70,000 miles, whose owner had dropped in a quality battery himself and skipped the coding because he did not know about it. Within a year, the new battery was struggling because the charging system was still managing it as the old, worn one. We coded it properly, and the problem was done. The battery was never the issue. The missing registration was. Part 10 is your wiper blades, where the dealer number is pure theater. Many factory-installed blades come from Bosch or Vallejo, and the correct set runs a fraction of the dealer price and clips on in 2 minutes. Part 11 is your headlight bulbs, and this one stings. The xenon bulbs on these cars, the D1 and D3 series, are made by Osram and by Philips. The genuine Audi xenon bulb can run well over $100 at the counter, and it is a rebadged Osram or Philips that you can buy under the same part number for a great deal less. I have had owners quoted a frightening number for a single failed headlight, convinced the whole xenon module was gone, when the actual fix was one Osram bulb they could have bought for a fraction of that and swapped in their own garage. The warning across all three: get the exact battery group size, the correct blade length, and the right bulb code for your car, and on the battery, do not skip the coding step. The cooling system parts that fail on schedule. Parts 12 and 13 are in your cooling system, and these are not maintenance items you choose. They are failures you can count on. Part 12 is the water pump and thermostat assembly on the EA888 engines. On these motors, the pump and thermostat are one plastic housing that runs hot and cold coolant through the same body, and that constant cycling cracks it, usually somewhere between 50 and 80,000 miles. Common OE and OEM quality suppliers for this assembly include INA and Pureberg, depending on the application and model year. I had a 2014 A4B 8.5, around 85,000 miles, come in with that sweet coolant smell, and the failed part was exactly that assembly. The genuine INA unit, reboxed and sold without the Audi logo, is the OE supplier version of that assembly for noticeably less, and on that car, the part savings alone covered most of the labor to install it. Part 13 is the coolant itself, and this is the one place on the whole list where I want you to be careful, not cheap. Your Audi requires a specific coolant, either G13 or the current G12 Evo, depending on year. Pentacin makes the correct spec coolant, and even the genuine coolant bought directly from the maker costs less than the same fluid wearing an Audi label. But do not, under any circumstances, pour generic green coolant into these cars. Match the VW spec exactly. The right coolant from the right maker is the goal, not the cheapest jug on the shelf. The expensive repairs where buying smart saves the most. The last two parts are where this list pays for itself, because these are the big repairs, and this is where I started today. Part 14 is your front suspension, the control arms. Lemforder is the original equipment supplier for Audi suspension on a huge range of these cars. And here is the part I promised at the start. When Lemforder sells those same arms under their own brand, instead of in an Audi box, on many components you will even find the original Audi markings removed before retail sale. It is the original manufacturer's part, with the 4 rings ground away, sold for less. I had a 2012 A6 with a front-end clunk, just past 110,000 miles, and a full set of Lemforder control arms saved that owner around half against the genuine quote. If you want a strong value alternative, the Miley HD arms are excellent, and on these cars, the upgraded HD bushings often outlast the original rubber. Just be aware that a control arm job is real work, with an alignment required afterward. So this is one where buying the part yourself and handing it to a good independent shop is usually the smart play rather than a driveway job. Part 15 is your accessory drive belt and its tensioner. The serpentine belt is made by Continental, the brand you will see as ContiTech, and the belt tensioner is made by INA. This is where dealer list pricing gets absurd. I have seen an INA primary belt tensioner carry a list price north of $200, when that same INA tensioner sells for around $70. A worn tensioner is one of the most common causes of belt noise, so replacing the belt alone and leaving the old tensioner is how people end up doing the job twice. If your engine has a belt chirp or rattle, replace the belt and the tensioner together as a kit, with the INA and ContiTech parts, and you have done it right for a fraction of the counter total. Here is the thread that ties all 15 of these together. In almost every case, the company stamping its name on the genuine Audi part is the same company that will sell you the OE supplier version of that part under its own label for less. And no, using these parts does not void your warranty. A federal law has protected you on that point since 1975, so do not let that line at the counter scare you. The smartest move you can make is to buy the correct original equipment part yourself from a reputable supplier. Then have a trustworthy independent Audi shop install it. You pay for the labor and the expertise, which is fair, and you stop paying the logo tax on the part. If you want the full breakdown of every fluid, interval, and original equipment supplier that keeps one of these cars running past the mileage where most of them get scrapped, that is the entire reason I wrote the 500,000-mile Audi blueprint, and the link is in the description. If this video saved you money, or saved you from a bad quote, do me one favor and hit subscribe, because this is the kind of breakdown I publish for these cars every single week. Take the list, do your homework, and stop overpaying for parts you were always meant to be able to buy yourself.